All right. We're going to try this. James assures me that he can generate more wins if I let him make my decisions for me. Let me know when you're here. Use the restroom. We'll be right back. Let me know when you're back, James. Because the title don't make no sense without you here. That title just don't make no sense. I still think it's funny that nobody other than myself appears to be shocked on the fact that the same card popped up multiple times with 145 cards in the deck. And you're drawing 7 at a time. To have the same card come up 3, even 4 times in 7 draws, if you're shuffling properly, is highly, highly unprofitable. The probability is low. Well, James, just to eliminate the aspect that you're messing with me and have no intention of coming back, which is fine, I'm going to start drafting at 620 whether you're here or not. Okay, you happy, Frood? There he is. All right, you ready? Now understand, there's timers on this, so if you don't answer me quickly enough, I'm just going to draft what I think the best card is. Unless you want me to draft what I feel is good, and then you still try to get me wins. I will be more likely to believe what you're telling me if we can make it to right here. To 1,400 gems. Okay? Because if you can't win me 5... or whatever that is, essentially be 4 wins. If you can't get me 4 wins, then you're doing better than I normally am able to do based on land. But okay, that's fine. I think my drafting's fine. I draft cards that all the pros and everybody else say are the best cards when I see them. But sometimes I do like to play something specific because I feel like playing it. When you play as much as I do, drafting the same shit just because it pops up gets really, really annoying. Now, if it was like a sanctioned event, I'm obviously not going to do that. All right. Okay, we ready, James? I'm okay with James. I have so much money, I don't give a shit how much it costs me. I'll do this for the rest of my life just to prove what I need to prove. Hey, how come nobody told me that my background didn't look real? Come on, guys. Hold on. Okay. For a second there, guys, we saw another dimension. Alright. Alright, James. Now, as a drafter, the first thing I'm going to do is look at the pack. Person of Interest is a good card. Locksmith and Eavesdropper is a good card. This can be a good card, but it's really hard to choose those two colors right off the bat because this only synergizes with certain decks. Like, Investigation Tokens, a lot of colors have that. This is what I would normally pick. What should I pick? Because even if we're in red or white, we can splash the other color. So what would you pick? I also think there's a bit of a delay. Okay. So I'll do the best I can, James, to account for that. Now, right here, out of these cards, Case of the Burning Masks can be good. If you're in a control deck, No More Lies isn't the worst card. Museum Nightwatch is good here as well for our deck. Innocent Bystander is not something I want to second pick. I would say the Museum Nightwatch or the Cases of the Burning Masks. It's a little early, so we don't have to worry too much about creatures right now. Yeah, so which one do you want to play? Because the rest of this pack sucks. Burning Masks? I'm just going to let it time out, and if you don't answer fast enough, it'll just take the one I selected. Okay. Well, we got lucky there. Person of Interest, Seasoned Consultant. Gadget Technician is not something I'd pick here necessarily because we want to be fast. I'm going to say Person of Interest or Seasoned Consultant are going to be the two cards I want. Probably this early, to get our early curve out, we'd probably take the Seasoned Consultant. That's fine. So far, we're 2 for 2 on what we would have picked. Okay, that's what I thought. That's exactly what I said. Okay, so now right here. If we could find... We do have a burn card. If we can find more burn cards, this is going to be a really good card just to splash for it. However, we want to be aggro-y at this point. We're looking at Boros. Quick, kill him quick. So, Inside Source, Seasoned Consultant, the chase is on, and then Judith would be my pick. If you're only doing the first three, that's fine. But I'm going to guess Inside Source is going to be what you want, because that's by far the best card in this pack. Now, Judith this late could mean that black's open, but that's not going to help us with what that card does. Yep, that's what I thought. Inside Source. That was the first one I picked too. So far, we're 4 for 4. Okay, obviously the case. Okay, we could make an argument for the Chase is on and Granite Witness if we were further into this draft. But the case, I mean, even then, no, we really couldn't. The case is just better. But as far as good cards in this, Buried in the Garden is fantastic, not in our colors. Granite Witness is just too slow for what we want to do with this setup. So it's really going to be Case and the Chase is on are the only two cards that I would see us taking. Yep. Okay, 5 for 5. All right. Auspicious Arrival is the only card in this entire pack for us. The rest of this is garbage. I mean, this kind of goes without saying, but I'll wait for you because I don't want there to be any confusion on what we're doing. And again, I'm not, in no way, shape, or form am I trying to be hostile towards you or rude. I'm just letting you know that, you know, obviously you are decent at drafting because you first picked Yeah, that's fine. Hazda is probably what we want here. I don't think Sanitation fits into what we're doing well enough. We could technically go Sanitation if you want to keep everything in a low curve, but this is a really good card to throw down turn 5 if you have 5 creatures on the board. So just say yes or no. But I'm going to say Hazda Vigilante. He just goes really good with this deck. Okay, now at this point, we do not really have a whole lot of face-down creatures, nor do you play a lot of face-down creatures in this archetype. I don't think Goblin Massmaker is good. Suspicious Detonation, we don't have a lot of stuff that produces investigation tokens, so the Chase is On would probably be my first pick, Detonation would be my second pick. Okay, another Auspicious Arrival. Doesn't mean we have to play it. Okay, I'm just gonna... We're not playing against our own pod anyway. Yeah, you could make an argument that that wasn't the right choice, but I think it is. If the removal that we have doesn't do other things for us, it's not good removal for this type of deck. So the Chase is On, and the Case... these two cases are good because they're removal, but they also help us further do what we want to do. Okay, we're not necessarily going to play the Griffknot Tracker, but I chose that because that's the only reasonable of the two. Oh, which one? Quick. Oh, James. Okay. This pack is really fucking bad for us, but the very first card that I am going to say is Dogwalker, Offender at Large, and then Due Diligence. But I think Dogwalker's, and with this garbage of a pack, is a Windmill Slam. I will wait for your instruction. This is a really bad pack, though. If I got this pack in sealed, I would be very sad. Yep. I don't think we've disagreed on anything so far. Okay, so, in this one, Koldatha Rebirth. This is not normally in this set, so it's kind of hard to make an argument for this, but I do think that we try this because we do have ways, not very many, but we do have some ways to create artifacts, and Auspicious Arrivals and the Chase is On, I think this would really, really mess somebody up, especially if we can get an On the Job. Now, I would say Koldatha, On the Job, and then Red Herring would be the 3 choices. I just think that that's a curveball that you could really throw at somebody. But we could this could be our first disagreement. We're going to see another On the Job, probably. We're not going to see this. Okay, well, sorry you didn't answer me fast enough. I'm going to say Inside Source here. Push-Pull is a really good finisher, but I don't think this is the kind of deck that we want to play that kind of curveball in. Inside Source is probably the choice. Inside Source, I'd say call a Surprise Witness and then Offender at Large, and then push-pull. Having removal's fine, but unless our removal does more for us, it's really hard to take time to do that. Okay. So we more or less agree with each other. I'm going to take another Dogwalker here. On the Job would be good for this kind of deck, and I do think we're going to see more. I still think Dogwalker's better. Okay. There's the On Job. Now, obviously, in this pack, we're going to go Novice Inspector. Because not only does that feed our Koldatha Rebirth, this is the best common in the entire set. I'm going to say that, then it would be Concealed Weapon, I'm sorry, that, Felonious Rage, Concealed Weapon, On the Job. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, you kind of have to be sneaky with it. Lightning Helix is definitely the card we need to take here. Not only does that keep up tempo, but it keeps us from being blown out if a thing would otherwise kill us, and that's the kind of synergy this type of deck wants to have. That's clearly the choice, but I will let you decide. If you say Defenestrated Phantom, I'm going to kick you out of the channel. Yeah, Concealed Weapon isn't bad. I would agree with that. Harried Dronesmith. That's kind of higher on the end of the curve, but there's not any other card in here for us. We can take that out. We'll build when we're done, so we don't just have to be like, this is it. Okay, Market Watch Phantom is obviously the choice. I know you're going to say yes to that, so I'm not going to wait. Yeah, on the job. Well, I think we're going to see plenty of on the jobs. We've seen so far, what, 4 or 5? I think we'll see another one. Shit, we might see another one in this pack. I'm going to take that card, but we're definitely not playing that. You can only play that card if you're playing, like, red-blue control or red-black control. That's the only time that card's good, and it's still not good. I can see that being really good in Commander. Okay, we're not going to play it. And that could be, if you were, like, hurting for playables, it's a 2-drop that can buy you a turn. Okay, we'll play the push-pull. Yep. Yeah, I agree. When it gets to this point, it doesn't really matter. Oh, what did I tell you, James? What did I tell you? It's like I'm a fucking psychic. All right. It's too bad we're not in black, because I love that card, but we obviously can't play that. So the choices here, let me rephrase that. The choice here is Seasoned Consultant. We're not playing Goblin Massmaker. Seasoned Consultant. This pack makes me want to cut myself, James. I don't know about you. If you say anything else but Seasoned Consultant here, I'm going to lose respect for you. And I have so much respect for you. And I understand you may not be able to answer immediately every time, and that's fine. Yeah, that was a really shitty... Okay, I think Person of Interest... Foreign Familiar is too slow, so we're definitely not doing that. Cornered Crook with what we have is okay, but I'm telling you right now, if we play the Cornered Crook, it's going to put it in our opening hand, which is going to waste one of our slots. So I say Person of Interest, Cornered Crook, and then Crowd Control Warden is probably what I would pick. Person of Interest is just too good. I think it's like it's probably top 3 best red commons in the set. Yeah, I mean, the curve's getting pretty high, but what else are you going to take? I guess you could take the Warden as a 3-drop. Okay, now we have the Gargantuan Orangutan and the Innocent Bystander and another Novice Inspector. Now, I know you're worried about the curve, but we want to be fast with that on the job. So do we want another Novice Inspector? Or do you want the Orangutan that we could potentially turn into a 4/4 or kill something in the way? Crooked is good. I'm just telling you, if he's in our opening hand along with Hazda, Aurelia, and which happens a lot, it's not going to... Yeah, I like Novice too. It's not going to be good. We agree with most of the same stuff. I mean, with this many creatures... I mean, we have 13 creatures. And we're getting close to the end here. A Case File Auditor is definitely not something we're playing. Auspicious Arrival is really... Demand Answers isn't where we want to be. Yeah, Due Diligence is not bad in this type of deck, I agree. I do think it kind of slows you down a little bit. But, okay, so here I'm going to say the chase is on. Crowd Control Warden just to have another 2-drop. I know there's a delay, James, so it's not your fault that there's a delay. But I think I'm going to choose the chase is on here. We don't have to play it. Okay. I don't think... I mean, are you... Yeah, I would have... The Warden would have been... Warden probably would have been my choice, but... When it gets to the end like this, it's hard to... respond fast enough because of the timer and the delay on the video. I guess we just take Auspicious again because we're not... I mean, we have a playset of Auspicious Arrivals. Museum Night Watch is going to be what I take here. Okay, well, I didn't take the wrench. I apologize. It's kind of getting to the point where if you don't respond quick enough, it's not your fault, but I'm not going to necessarily... We won't necessarily agree with it. However, we did agree... yeah, and we can play 3 Auspicious... We can play a playset of Arrivals. Museum Night Watch. All right, so now we got the Warden and the Makeshift Binding. I am going to argue that being that there are certain decks that can completely shut our deck... or certain creatures that completely shut our... deck down. I'm going to say the Makeshift Binding. It also gives us life. I know we have the Crowd Control Warden, but we have 14 creatures. So I say that. And we're not going to play the Harried Dronesmith, probably. This doesn't really matter. I'll just take the expensive card out of here. Yeah, I agree. We'll take the Orangutan. Not necessarily going to play it. It is a 4/4 in a deck. Oh, we got lucky, James. Man, look at that. And I agree that with a deck like this, Crowd Control Warden is very good. All right, now let's move to this view. So we obviously don't need the forest. It just doesn't know any better. Because there's no chance we're ever playing that face up in this deck. Now, I will... take any suggestions you say. So if you want me to get rid of the Kuldotha Rebirth for another Auspicious Arrival, I think popping out 3 1/1s in a deck that hasn't on the job and double chases on is really good. But and with a curve like this, would you agree that 16 land is fine, or do you still want to play 17? Because I think with this low of a curve, 16 land would give us just as many opportunities. Or should, I should say. Okay, that's fine. We'll take out Golgotha. We needed to cut a card anyway. So do you like this as it sits? Because, I mean, we agreed with... Man, getting Boros like this is so fucking rare. We agreed on 98% of the cards that were picked. And the only reason why we couldn't collaborate other than that was because the delay. Yeah, hold on. Forget how to do that. Don't you have to type commands for that? Or you can, oh no, you can just do that. Did I do that down here, though? I don't even know how to do that on this. Oh, there we go. So you can do it that way. Oh, it's putting... I see what it's doing. It's putting the green back in there. Okay, you want Harried Dronesmith then. Okay, that was the card that I didn't think we would necessarily want to play. Now, I understand it's good because it gets a 1/1 over and over and over. We just didn't have very many sacrifice mechanics, and I know it goes really good with sacrifice mechanics. I thought it might be a little slow, but our lower curve is good enough that we can justify it. We could also technically use that as another creature for case of the Gateway Express before we sack it to give us another damage point. Now we do need to cut 1 card, or we need to play 17 lands and cut 2 cards. That's up to you. Maybe cut a Chases On. I mean, I honestly argue that battle tricks are really good. We have ×2 Novice Inspector, ×3 Auspicious Arrival, Case of the Gateway, Market Watch, Season Consultant, Makeshift Binding, Inside Source ×2. Okay, drop an Arrival. I don't disagree with that either. Do you like 16 land in this deck? Anytime my curve is this big on the 2 and the 3 drop, I justify playing 16 land. But I will do whatever you say, because otherwise we're defeating the whole experiment here. Okay, I want you to be able to kind of grasp what it is I'm seeing, and I will point things out if I notice that that's normal, and then I will also say this is what I think is going to happen next based on my experience with that. And I'm telling you right now, I hope I'm wrong. Okay, yeah, 9 white and 7 red. Okay, So we need to cut one more card then. I miscounted there, so. Now, one thing that Paul Cheon always says is when in doubt, cut the more expensive card. So if we want to do the whole Auspicious Arrival ×2, we could cut a Chases On. That's still essentially three battle tricks in a deck that, you know, if we have to depend on more than three battle tricks in a deck like this, we're already losing the game. So, which again, if we lose, James. Like, in no way, shape, or form am I going to be like, oh, see, James, you don't know what you're talking about, because this isn't going to be enough of a sample size for that to go. But if we win a lot of games, then I will be more willing to listen to what you have to say. So, if we can agree on that, I think we're good. Do you want me to go ahead and hit done, James? And I may need to go get a water before we start, so give me a quick second. Yeah, white card's not in the deck. You got it. Right there. There you go. I'll be right back, James. Oh, shit. Green screen overboard. Hold on, guys. Yeah, you got to see my messy-ass room. Oh, hold on. A little bit of a wardrobe malfunction here. Okay. Yep. How far over did you go? Okay, is that good? I still feel like there's... No, okay. Now, yeah, I agree. This is a pretty damn good deck. Now, we did agree with each other on 97, 98% of this. I would give this deck, in a format like this, and from my experience, I would give this deck like an A-. The only thing that's not giving it an A+ is we don't have a lot of bombs. Like, if we had that 2/4 red-white Boros card that double strikes, and some other red bombs, or even like 2 galvanizes, 2 shocks, and a lightning helix, I would then say that that's probably an A+ deck. But we do have enough control. I think this will do nicely. And I will let you know, I did recently go 7 wins, and I was playing a low curve red-white deck. Now again, what pisses me off about that is that you shouldn't have to just play the same 2 fucking decks every time to get wins, which is Boros aggro and white-blue detective aggro. Alright, we're going to play. Alright, James, so if the timer starts ticking, I'm going to have to make a decision, but I will try to wait for what you decide for the most part, other than the obvious choices. Because if, you know, opening hand we have a Novice Inspector, which right now we don't. Now, this is not necessarily what I would call the greatest starting hand, because you usually want to have something out by turn 2, and yes, we could technically play the Dog Walker face up. I will do however you want. So, do you want to keep this or mull? I would say keep. Yeah, okay. Alright. Okay, it doesn't matter what land we play first, so I'm just gonna play it plains. Alright. Do you... Obviously, we're not going to Lightning Helix him. Do you want to play the Dog Walker face up, or do you want to wait till round 3 and see what he does? I would say wait till round 3 and see if we need to throw down the case of the Burning Masks, depending on what he plays. Do you want to do the Dog Walker up or pass? I mean, it's not going to matter what we do this turn, because next turn we'll be able to do that. Now, you could also argue that the 3-1 being up and being able to attack and we kill whatever's up there, but the thing is, if it's a face-down creature, we're not going to be able to do that. Face up Walker. You got it. Okay, he's going to shock it. It's okay, we got it out of his hand. Now he's going to play a face-down creature, and he is ahead of us. Now, that isn't, you know, it's just started, so... Now, it doesn't really matter what land we play here. Yeah, I don't really know. I don't think there's really any way to really eliminate. I went in and said to eliminate it the best I can. Do you want to face down Crowd Control Warden here? Because we can't hit him with Case of the Burning Mass, because he has Ward. I think face down was the logical choice. Yeah, what we'll have to do in the future, James, if we do this again, do you want me to block or not block? I'm going to say we probably don't need to block. Okay, that's fine. I'm not going to block it. What we'll do in the future, James, is I can get you maybe in Discord if you're not opposed to talking to me. And I can give you a live view of the game so you can make real-time decisions. Shit, LSV and Marshall Sutcliffe do that all the time, so... okay, so... Obviously, we're gonna kill the Warden here. He can't crack the clue. So... Killing the Warden is a smarter choice here with the Case of the Burning Masks, I feel. Lightning Helix is way too aggressive right now. Our life total isn't threatened. And... I think Lightning Helix is just much better. So I'm gonna say Case of the Burning Mask against the Loxodon here. Because we don't want that thing being a 4-4 and swinging. Now notice also how much land I've drawn. We're still able to make plays. We've been able to make some plays, but again, we have a really low curve. That's not hard to do in a deck where you have like a 5-cost card and the rest of your cards are 3 or less. I mean, obviously there's a little bit more than that, but we also have 16 lands, so we shouldn't be drawing land more than other cards on the average. I mean, we have 7 lands that we're looking at right now, and we just drew... Did we just draw another one? We just drew another land. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 lands left. So 28 of these cards, 8 of them are lands. So... I'm going to leave her up to block. Sure, that's fine. I think what I'm looking at right now is crazy, personally, but obviously you have more lands than anything else in your deck, so, you know, I'll go with it. Alright, so I'm going to block. I'm going to declare a block here and see if he tries to save the creature. Or, okay, yeah, that's what I thought he'd do. Okay, so... I mean, at least we blocked the 6 damage. I don't think it matters here because it's just going to be a 4-4. Okay, yeah, I didn't think so. Now, before the end of the turn, do you want to kill the face-down creature? Because that's probably what I would do to try to get some... What? I think you mean I can't save my dude from flipping. Because I can't flip the dude and Lightning Helix, unfortunately, because flipping the dude is 5 mana. Because otherwise that would have been a sweet play. That would be a 2-for-1 you'd be okay with. So we're just going to kill the face-down creature. I understand. But, you know, we can at least argue that we're making a lot of the same choices, so that's good. Okay, well, that's not going to do us any good right here. But at least you're seeing the end result, right? So, and the end result is that we're getting more land than anything. Now, do you want to block here? I'm going to say we probably really can't right now. We need to wait until blocking is life or death at this point because we need to conserve our creature base. But in a deck where the average card we have is a 2 and 3 drop, we sure are getting a lot of lands. And this happens to me all the fucking time. I know it doesn't seem that weird. Yeah, no point in blocking, I agree. We pretty much agreed on everything so far. Oh, wow, James. Look at that. Don't worry, though. We got an on the job. So we got him right where we want him. Now, again, I'm just being a smartass. And I'm not saying that this is your fault. I'm just saying this is the kind of shit that we deal with. So he had a Shock, a Loxodon Eavesdropper, an Undercover Crocodile. Okay, that's fine. Now, would you see it crazy if this was happening every single game like this? Or damn near every single game? Would that not start seeming crazy? I mean, we just lost the game, so it doesn't matter. Like, we can't win this game. I mean, we can't. Sucks, man. Now, we're going to go into game 2. I'm going to stay positive. I know it's hard with the delay, but again, we haven't really made any different decisions. Okay, now I want you to look at this, James, okay? 4 land again, right? Our last hand was also 4 land. We had a Helix, a Novice, and a 6-cost card. We have the exact same thing again. So I say this is keepable because we got the Investigate token. And push is still good. We can still push. So this is not a terrible hand to start. I'm going to say we keep this, but I will wait on your decision. I mean, the fact that we have the token, if we draw creature, we're going to be fine. But I agree, it's not the greatest. I would rather this plains be gone and there be another creature. Then it'd be fantastic. You said you're just going to judge my decisions, then that's fine. So I'm going to just keep. If I was on the draw, I would probably not have kept that. Okay, there's another land. We're going to swing with the Novice Inspector. And we're going to crack the clue at the end of the turn, because I have no other reason not to. Okay. Okay, Inside Source. Fantastic. And there's another land. So, we're going to attack first. Play the Inside Source. Okay, he does not have Galvanize or Shock, because he would have used it. Okay, now we're going to play the Consultant in the Case of the Gate and kill the Wojak. I know that's the correct play, but I will wait for your direction on that. This is the kind of hand you want to have with this deck. But again, I didn't say that it's always me that gets screwed. It picks one player and it locks them, or it gives the other person everything they need. We needed a 4th creature here and it gave it to us, so it's possible that it's screwing him. It's also possible that it's just a coincidence. But I think the correct play here is to play the Seasoned Consultant. Oh, we will, but there's no sense in attacking after the fact. Or before the fact. Because he'll just block. Now we're gonna attack. Fuck this dude. Oh, look at that Buffy buff. He's gonna bring it back. Here it comes. The Wojak back, which isn't gonna do him much good. But he just looked at the Wojak and then looked at that. I doubt he's looking at evidence, so he's probably got that bring card back, give it flying, which, you know, now it's gonna have flying James, and I don't know how we're gonna deal with flying. Told ya. Oh! Okay, so here's what I would say we do, okay? Because I'm going to tell you right now, he's going to block the 3-2. Because there's no reason for him not to. We let him block the 3-2, and then we case to the Burning Mass to kill it again. Because this thing doesn't tap, so this is useless. This is more valuable to us in the graveyard because of push-pull. I agree. And actually, yeah, he's not going to block this one. He's going to block this one. That's the obvious block. And now, I would say we... Do you say we case to kill it? Or do you want to leave it alive? Because if he gets another creature out, he's going to start slowing us down. That's how I would feel. I think we want to keep the tempo up as much as possible. Because we're in push-pull territory next, so... How many creatures he has in the graveyard is relevant. Okay, good. I'm just making sure. Okay, good, we won that one. I mean, we both made pretty much all the same decisions there, so... Nope, I'm not having fun. I'm having fun with James, but you're not James, game. Okay. Good beats. Let's try it again. Let's hope we get the same. If we can get that every damn time, there's no reason why we can't win. And getting mana flooded happens to a lot of people. It doesn't happen to me as often in paper Magic as it does in this, because I know how to shuffle a deck. But... Alright. I like this hand. We can turn 2 Market Watch into turn 3 Dog Walker unless we hit a Novice Inspector before that, and Market Watch round. But it's up to you. I would say this is a keep. Okay, auto keeping in 3, 2, 1, keep. Like to Mulligan, there's just so much worse. We could be just so much worse off. I agree. Hopefully he's killing it. Okay. Like every time I see a red deck, they always have shock in their opening hand. It's like, it's so cliche, but it happens all the time. Ooh, he's doing what we're doing, James, but he's doing it better. Stop him. We do not have any way to deal with that. So, I'm going to say we attack here and probably flip, right? Because we want to deal 3 to him now and have our puppies on the next one. But we could also leave up Lightning Helix. I mean, I think either one of those plays is fine. Probably leave up Lightning Helix and attack for 2 is what we need to do. It's up to you, though. Okay, flip first. You got it. We got to start getting land, though, or we're going to be in trouble. If it keeps me on 3 land, that's just going to kind of strengthen my point again. Okay, well, that's unfortunate. Now, my guess is we're going to... Okay, that's good that we got land. Now, right here, what do you want to do? Because this is actually getting to the point where we need to be making good decisions. So, do we swing for 3, bait out the block, This can't block, so do we swing with all 3, hit him for 2, bait out the block, and then lightning helix the person of interest? Because if I were him, I wouldn't block the 3, 4, or the 5. Or would you play the drone smith here and just swing for more? It's up to you. Yeah, you got it. I don't disagree with that choice. And then obviously you want to attack with everything, right? Because, I mean, like, we're not... He has 1 blocker, and we don't want to be picking and choosing when we're trying to get his life totals. Like, the second we stop attacking is when we start losing the game. With this type of deck, in my opinion. You got it. I think we're still fine, even with the enchantment, because, like, we have lightning helix, but also we're able to do a lot of attacks that he can't do anything about. Now, so do you want to go ahead and block? How do you want to block here? Because this is where it's going to start getting important. Do we want to double block the person of interest and kill him and make him choose, or what do you want to do? Do we take the 6? Because obviously if we can play Aurelia next turn, we're going to be playing Aurelia. Okay. So no block? Okay, we didn't get a 5th land. If he gets an on the job, we're going to be in trouble. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't disagree with that either. We were running out of time, which again is not your fault. So here, person of interest, or leave the chases up mana and attack with the baby in the air. Because even if he has auspicious arrival, we're still going to be able to kill anything he swings with. But if he has on the job, we lose. Which he probably does, because that's what happens to me in these kind of games. I agree that he probably had some type of buff. Because why risk losing that creature? Okay, well, we're just gonna... Since we have the chases on, I think we'll swing like that. Because they both have vigilance, and he may not even block. Okay, he didn't block, so we got free damage there. I didn't think he would, which also tells me that he definitely either has on the job or a battle trick of some sort. So you may be right. He may have auspicious arrival. Okay. So we agree on that too. Okay, so makeshift binding is going to be coming down and probably getting my drone smith. Anything you want me to do in response to this? Kill something? Do we want to lightning helix his 3/3 with unblockable or menace? Shouldn't say unblockable. Menace, or what do we want to do? I was wrong about him having on the job. That's a positive thing, right? But he still probably has auspicious arrival. Okay, you got it. Okay. Oh, wow. I'm surprised by that, but maybe it's because he has the 3/3s and he just wants to assume we don't have anything. I think the drone smith is a bigger threat, right? Collectively, but all right. So he's going to attack. What do you want me to do here? Because he has auspicious arrival, so let's just assume he does. Let's play like he does. How do you... What should we do here? Okay. And then the dogs to the 2/2. Okay, I would agree with that too. Yep, I would agree with that too, because we're getting rid of 2 creatures, and we're saving ours. Now, Auspicious Arrival is probably coming up on that, but it's not going to matter. Well, actually, it will if he has it. Now, the chase is on the Drone Smith. If he has Auspicious Arrival... Okay, he doesn't. We're good. Okay. Alright, what do you want to do here? Because we are getting low on health. Do we want to Novice for a blocker and keep Helix up? And then crack the clue at the end of the turn? If we don't have to Helix? Even though I'm pretty sure we're going to have to Helix. Because this thing is going to be up in the air, almost guaranteed. And we're running out of life. Because as far as the mirror deck's concerned, he's drawing quicker than we are. It's pretty close in that aspect. Attack for 3? Oh, kill the untapped. Gotcha. Okay. Well, it wouldn't be attacking. Oh yeah, with the drum, with the Smith. Okay. Well, and then what? Novice? You want me to attack for 3? Okay. And then I'm going to guess play the Novice, because that's the only other option. It probably gave him shock, or galvanize. It's keeping us off of our Aurelia, so block the only obvious one. Well, I mean, James, the whole point of me playing is for you to help me make better choices, so that's what we're doing. Okay. Never got the 5th land with 2 of our 5-cost cards in our hand. That is also something that happens pretty often. He has not been able to not play something this entire game, so there is that. You don't have to agree with it. I'm just telling you this is what happens to me every fucking game. I do not see anything we can do here to win this game. Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, it's not going to matter. We lose, but that's alright. Too bad I can't keep that thing. Then we'd be okay. Yep, we lose. Oh, I don't feel bad. I'm just telling you, if you watched me every day, you're going to start seeing the same patterns. The first game, we drew nothing but land. The second game, we couldn't get past 5 land. Our opponent, playing pretty much the exact same deck we're playing, whatever I do, it does not let me get past this. And you will see this, like, more often than not, it will not let me pass here or here. And again, I understand it's Magic. This is the first game that you're playing with me and actively seeing. Because I play a lot offline, too. I don't just play online. I probably play 2 or 3 games offline a day before I play online. The only reason why I'm playing online is to basically collect data on what I feel is going on. And I'm not saying that every single thing that I'm worried about is true, but I do think a lot of it is. I think the game knows exactly what it's doing. I think it picks a person, whoever it can make more money off of, and it lets the other person win. But I don't feel bad about that game. I mean, I feel we made good choices. Okay, so this is the kind of shit where... here's what's going to happen. My assumption is that we are not going to see red mana before he's able to kill us. Now, I could be wrong. It could also be red mana on the very next, and then we're just going to get lots of mana. But usually when it's like this, Like, yes, we can play this because we can play it face down. And we can play this, but we can't play this. Would you mulligan this? Because I'm going to tell you right now, the mulligan is probably going to be slightly better. But it's going to be 2 less land, probably. But I do want your opinion on what we do here. Okay. Alright. Like I said, 2 less land. And then this looks better, right? As far as, you know, I mean, it doesn't look good. But we can't keep mulliganing. So we just gotta hope to God that we get a 3rd mana and hope it's a red mana, and then we're in business. I don't think we can afford to go down again. And I do think, because we did this, I do think I'm going to top deck a red mana. And then I think it's going to start giving me cards that we can't play. I could be wrong. I'm just telling you. Yeah, I agree. Can't be playing Mask when we don't have the 2 red mana. Everything else is somewhat feasible. That one is not. Okay. Like I said, it's going to be red cards and cards we can't play. I hope I'm wrong. Okay. I mean, he's never really said he's a skeptic. I just don't think he has enough information to make an informed decision. But he's got to be having an idea of what I'm talking about here. So, James, yeah, so at this point, if we get a red mana, it's probably not going to be for at least another 3 or 4 turns. We'll be able to play the Museum Night Watch on the next turn. I mean, I don't think wasting this to kill a 2/1 that doesn't have any stuff on it is worth it. So I'm just going to go next. I think that card's too powerful to waste it on a 2/1. Okay, he's stuck on 3 land as well. Now here's what I think is going to happen, alright? I'm going to play the Museum Night Watch, because that is the only logical play here. Well, I couldn't play the Night Watch. I mean, I could have played the Night Watch down 3, that's true. But it's going to get countered. Yeah, there's no reason why he's leaving his mana open. Like, there's no way he doesn't have a playable there. So it wouldn't have mattered. He had it last turn, too. But you're right, we should have played it turn 3. I'm too busy trying to, like, make sure that you're informed on the decision. Okay, so keep in mind, no red mana for 2 more turns minimum. We're obviously going to play the Seasoned Consultant here. So it was my fault for not playing it down. That was a mistake, but it's not because I didn't know to do it. It's just I'm trying to give you the opportunity to make the decision, and I didn't want the timer to go. But again, that's not your fault. And I agree. No reason to play it down. Or no reason not to play it down, absolutely. But he would have countered it regardless, so at least we know in hindsight that our decision wasn't the worst. Although it was not correct. And I agree with that. Okay, I think we're going to have 2 more, unless we can draw somehow. Well, James, whether or not I feel a game is rigged or not doesn't determine what cards I draw. So you've seen 3 games where our land has made it... Well, 2 of the 3 have made... Our land has made it to where we can't possibly win the game. The other one, he just kept drawing answers and we weren't drawing enough answers. And yes, I get it. That's Magic. Can't do anything about that because it's got skeptic. Or suspected. Okay, one more card of... I mean, I can't block anything anyway because that's suspected. That's in the air, so it didn't matter. I mean, we can... Here's what we could do, James. Do you want to Auspicious Arrival just to get the I mean, these are the kind of decisions I have to make because of what this fucking game does. So now we have to crack a clue in order to try to get to red mana. So do you want to just let him hit us and hope for the best? Because I think we're going to get one more card we can't play. Yeah, I didn't think so. Okay. Hoping for red mana. Okay, no, another white mana. Again, we're... At this point, it's either going to be it's going to be one of our 5-cost cards next turn. It's either going to be the Vigilante or the Aurelia, or it's going to be a red mana. Okay, I'll push the bystander. I mean, what else are we going to do, right? We can't play pool. Alright, and then I can't do anything else now, so I think we just wait to see what he does. He's not gonna... I don't think he's gonna block our 1/3. I mean, I agree with you, Devious, but I'm just trying to prove a point to James. And again, James, I have nothing but respect for you for offering to do this. But what I'm saying... Like, we've agreed with almost everything. And we're still losing. And I get that happens sometimes. But look at his lands. Look at his cards. Look at ours. Okay? Where's our red mana? Okay? We're playing what? What did we decide to do? 9 and 8? No, that's 17. 9 and 7? Okay, well, I'm going to block here and try to kill his drone and hope he doesn't have a play. We're going to pass priority so he uses his first, and he's going to wait because he doesn't have to worry about it. He's got an answer. He's sitting on nothing but answers. Okay, so what did I say, James? A card that we might be able to play, but a card that we're not really going to want to play. Now... next turn, he is going to get 1, possibly 2 more creatures out. And it is then going to give us red mana. Watch. Because it knows at that point, we can't possibly recover from it. Okay, I predict he's going to play at least 1 creature. He's going to swing with a 3/2 for drawing that card, so that's pretty much just as good. He's going to attack us. I'm not going to block. Not until I can transform it. There's no reason to. Okay. I mean, it wouldn't have mattered if we blocked anyway. Okay, here comes the red mana, because it knows we've lost. Because it knows what it's given to him. Okay, I was wrong. No red mana. Let's see if it's next, because I know it's coming. Nope, no red mana. So I was wrong in that aspect. No, James, I mean, it wouldn't have mattered if we blocked anyway. We would have saved ourselves 3 more damage. And maybe did something, but not with just white mana. We got to get that red mana. Okay, so we won 1, which is about my average on no matter what I draft. So, all right, James. I know you don't have a huge sample size, so I don't expect, like, whatever you tell me, obviously, you're not going to know is correct or not. We made all the right decisions for the most part. The one mistake I made was not putting it face down. It's not because I didn't know I could. It's just I was trying to let you make the decision. I wasn't paying attention to the timer. But what you just saw happens to me 2 out of 3 games every time I draft. Not sometimes, every time I draft. So if I win 2, then the next 3 are going to more than likely be mana screwed. Or locked. And I see it happen to other players, but rarely. It's happening to me every second or third game I'm playing every single time. Or sometimes, more often than not, the second and the third. Now, I don't think there's any decisions aside from the one mistake I made that we could have made better. I don't think drafting-wise we made any mistakes. We had a very solid deck. I promise you, with that deck that you just saw, with a normal shuffle, a human being shuffling it, I assure you that I could have went 3-0 with that deck at a local, for fun draft with, competitive, but for fun, not like a competition for Wizards. Yeah, isn't it, Devious? I mean, again, I didn't just play this game like once or twice and was like, oh man, like, it's rigged. I lost 2 games. I have played, this will give you an idea, okay? I have played hundreds of Murders of Karlov at this point. Hundreds. And on the average, I am not able to get past here, here, or here. Okay, and James, it's fine overall. I would agree that if this happened once in a while or every couple games and you're going to play 5 for the day and this happens in 2 games, no big deal. I agree with that. It's magic. It happens. The frequency in which it's happening, based on my other videos, very few videos are you going to find that we go past here, and there may be some decisions you don't agree with, but I also find it hard to believe that we played with one of the most, like, that deck didn't have enough bombs in it or enough synergy amongst the cards for us just to say turn it sideways is the only thing you need to do. It didn't matter in that game that we were actually doing well on, that they got ahead of us, because we drew land, and a card we couldn't play. They drew a creature, and answer. Normally that would not be a big deal. And even that one, I can't really argue too much about that, because what they're drawing, like, we can't see when they're getting it. But there's ways to know. Like in certain situations, there's no way that a person would not have played a certain card at a certain time. That's why I also agreed with you that he had a special survival, but he didn't. So we made the right decision, but it cost us in the end, and that's okay. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I think you drafted perfectly, and I think you played that as good as you could have, aside from the one mistake I made, which isn't your fault. Again, I'm not saying that you're wrong, and this isn't enough sample size for you to be like, oh, well, I agree with you now, and I get that. But I'll tell you, on average, come watch me, okay, as you're doing right now, which I really appreciate. And again, I'm never going to be, like, I might give you a hard time, but I'm never going to be outwardly rude to you or name call you or any shit like that. Unless you do it first to me, and then I'm probably just going to kick you out of the room. No, not really going to name call you. But if you watch my average games, you will see what I'm talking about, and then I want you to point out play mistakes that you think I should have done differently, only if it would have changed the outcome of the game. Which I know that's kind of hard to dictate from it, because a turn 1 play could lose you the game, and I get that. I just want to know if you think you and it's, you've been honest with me so far, so I don't really see you as a liar, James. So if you can tell me that you could have won that game making different decisions, I may not necessarily agree with you, but I will respect that. Because that's what you're basically saying, is that I'm just not making good enough decisions. And sometimes you're right, I make mistakes. Everybody does. Paul Cheon's number 11 in Mythic? He makes mistakes all the time. So it happens. But it's not going to let us past a certain point, ever. Well, I shouldn't say ever, because it has once. But we were playing a deck where our highest curved card was 4 mana. So that was just a good day. And that, if that happened every 2 or 3 times I played, I would feel that I'm doing very well, and I would feel that it's completely legitimate. Okay, and I agree with that. I don't think we could have made very many other decisions. But can you at least, and I'm not saying that you have to say that I'm right. I will never tell you that you have to tell me that I'm right. I will tell you all the time that I may not agree with you, but I respect it. However, will you at least admit that it is a little odd with a deck like that, with almost perfectly even mana and perfectly even color coordination, with the curve we had. It's a little odd that in one game we drew, 9 of our 18 lands within by turn 9. Might have been turn 8. 8 of our 16... It was turn 8. 8 of our 16 lands by turn 8. And that in the game we just played, we drew nothing but white mana and had all red cards left, aside from a couple consultants. He had fuss, bother, and a play every turn. Do you not find that... If that happened to you every time you play, would you not start finding that a little odd? I'm not saying that you have that experience to know that, but man to man, if that was happening 2 out of every 3 games you were paying to play for, would that, after about the 20th or 30th time, would that not seem weird to you? I mean, James, you would have to point those games out to me. Well, of course, there's always room for improvement. But the thing is, I don't think that when I'm playing a creature... Well, I mean, since I hit Platinum, James, I can't get past 2 wins. And if you think that's a testament to me playing bad, okay. I don't agree with it, but I'll respect it. However, find the games you're talking about and the timestamps and tell me what a play mistake was, and I'll tell you if I agree with that or not, or if I know that I made a mistake, because there's times where I know I make a mistake. Every time I get beat, I don't just say, it's rigged. I say, that sucks, or if it's a really grindy game, and I only have 4 lands left in my entire deck, and I have 19 cards left, or however many, let's say 11, and 4 of those are land, and I draw land, and they draw answer. That's once or twice, not a big deal. Every time, a big deal. And I understand you've gone through some rough spells, but if start getting timestamps of the videos that you're talking about, and comment on the thing. Comment on the YouTube video, hey, this timestamp, you made this mistake. Not only would I appreciate that, I respect it. And I make plenty of mistakes. I do not pretend to be a better player than I am. I think that I have the potential to get to Diamond, but I don't think I have the potential to get to Mythic unless I was able to get the cards I need. But that, I mean, any person could say that. I mean, if you could get any card you need, you'd be the world champion. But regardless, it's happened to me enough that I completely feel comfortable saying that it's rigged. And as you can see, there's 6 people in here, and I already know Marvel, even though he's not talking, I know he believes that. So 3, and myself, so 4 of the 6 people that are in this chat believe that there is rigging that goes on with it. You do not. The other people are not talking.
Good to see you again.
Again, I respect that. I just don't agree with it. Okay. Really, I agree, James. I appreciate you drafting with me, and thank you for spending time with me. I would love that. So come back in the future and just tell me that, okay, I again, criticism's fine. I respect it. So, constructive criticism at that. You're not just criticizing to criticizing. You're not being a dick, and I respect that. So, I agree that there's always room for improvement. I don't know what your rank is, but clearly you know how to draft, because I thought what we drafted was perfectly good, and you did a great job picking the same fucking cards I did. Aside from the one mistake I made, which was not, again, it wasn't because I didn't know that, it's because I wasn't paying attention, because I was more focused on letting you make the decisions, because, I mean, that's what the whole point of this was. Otherwise, what are we doing? But yeah, in the future, I can just make plays and have you tell me when it's a mistake or ask me why I did something, and then whether or not you agree with that or not. I'm perfectly okay with that. Anybody in the chat can do that. But if I can't get off, or if I can't get 1 red mana when I have 5 red cards in my hand, or I can't get anything but mana, and my opponent's drawing card, I don't know how you defend against that or win against that when it's happening to you damn near every game. So, or I shouldn't say every game. 2 out of every 3 games, that probably happens. I have 1 good game usually, or 1 close game, and then the rest, I just get locked out of cards. So, but anyway, guys, I've been streaming this one plus the other one for quite a while. So, James, again, I appreciate that. Devious and Marvel, as well as where is he? I don't think you left yet, did you? Sonic. Okay, I didn't want to say your name wrong. Sonic Bedhog. I appreciate you guys being in here. Okay, I mean, then, James, if you've gotten to Mythic before, then I respect every decision you're going to tell me to make. I don't have any proof, but I don't see you as a liar or somebody who's wasting their time telling me that by lying. And I don't see anything wrong with any of the decisions you told me to make. I would have made damn near those same decisions. The double block, the double block is easy because if they have more creatures than you and you don't think they have a trick, or even when you do think you have a trick, sometimes you don't have a choice. You know what you have in your hand. So the double block is good because you need to get as many of their threats off the board as quickly as possible to have a better chance of winning. The reason why I'm not a huge fan of murders. I mean, I love Magic, so I'm going to play it any way I can. But the reason why I'm not a huge fan of murders is because every fucking color has like 10 ways to get rid of creatures. And it's basically just like whoever draws the most removal wins the game. So it's there's not as much strategy to it, which you would think there would be with face-down creatures that you can flip up. But basically, in this format, if you don't have a turn 1 or 2 play, you're already losing the game. So, unless you just have like a bomb-ass 2 or 3 drop and they don't have a kill spell, which, if you've watched my games, is very, very rare. And sometimes there's nothing you can do. They just drew better than you, and you lose. I'm okay with all those things. I just don't think that's what's happening with the amount of games I played. So anyway, all right, guys, I appreciate all you being here. If you haven't already, please subscribe. It helps get the word out. I am collaborating with a couple other people who find the algorithm being rigged. So as we have more information from them, we'll get together and talk about it. All right, guys. Bye-bye.